Hi, I'm Shelley with The Wedding Show. Thanks for tuning in. Our next guest today is kind of a staple photographer here in the Valley. You've been here for quite some time. I'd like to introduce Paul Rutigliano from Ros-Lynn Studios. Paul, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Paul, you've been part of the wedding industry here in the Central Valley for as long as I can remember.
I have a few of my colleagues that remind me that I go way back into the last century.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing. It just goes to show that your quality work definitely shows through and is definitely needed here in the Valley.
Thank you.
So how long have you been a photographer?
I started my business in 1972, officially, which means I was shooting and playing around with it for a few years before, and got involved in it, got involved with the Professional Photographers of Central California, and served a number of years on the board, a couple of years as president, and just learned the trade from there.
Yeah.
Learning photography in those days was a longer learning curve.
Well, yes. You didn't have the digital capabilities of today, and you really had to know film and light and shadows and all the different battles that you had to deal with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to learn the art of it, and basically learning how to see light and knowing what your films and various films that were available at the time and what they would do.
Right. Well, and cameras have come a long way.
They have.
Cameras have come a long way. So what I love is the fact that you, having a veteran photographer and someone who knows and has been in this industry so long, is that you know you can troubleshoot as well because of the fact that you've got such experience with photography and knowing all this and going through, we'll just say 20 plus years in the industry. All right, we'll just say it, 40 years. I didn't want to go there. You really know how to take care of what you've got to do. You can take care of business.
Yeah, that's really critical,
Absolutely.
especially for someone's wedding. You can run into a lot of different things that require a lot of knowledge, and to be able to, you're dealing with lighting problems. And
all day
knowing
long.
how to take care of those is really important because you don't want to mess up somebody's wedding day.
No, you've got one shot at this. And that's what a lot of people kind of forget about when they're thinking about photography is that you've got to choose an amazing photographer who's got the experience to pull it off with so many different challenges. And that's why you need someone who's extremely experienced in photography. And not just as a hobby, but this is what they do on a day-to-day basis. You need a professional who does not use photography as just a hobby, but it is their actual business and their livelihood. And they've got the experience and the knowledge to back up what you need for your wedding day.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's huge. So I know that I'm looking at some of the pictures on this screen, and you're just able to capture such wonderful moments. And again, see how fun that is. So let's talk about how many weddings have you done? I'm just kind of curious. Have you kept count?
You have to ask me that, don't you? Probably in the neighborhood of around 2,700 images.
Wow.
I've been in business now for 42 years. But over the years, I've talked to a lot of different brides, and you learn a lot from your colleagues. In Fresno, there's a really good group of professional photographers. Styles vary a lot, but to the bride that is out looking, don't judge by what you just see on the internet. Go talk to meet that photographer.
Absolutely.
That photographer may spend more time with you than, from the bride's standpoint, than your mother does. Seriously.
It's true.
And it's really important that you get to know your photographer, and your photographer gets to know you. When we go out and when we meet with a couple, we book a wedding. We try to do an engagement session with all of our plans. We also try to go to as many rehearsals as we can, and that helps out the following day or whenever the wedding takes place, because now the family knows who we are, the wedding party knows who we are, and it really smooths out the next day.
Absolutely, and I'll totally agree with that because you can really get a feel for the vibe that the wedding party and the families have. And by doing the engagement session, what that does for bride and groom is it really gets them comfortable with you because your photographer is I don't want to say in your face all day, but your photographer is with you all day long.
Yes.
From start to finish. And it's so important that you build up a relationship with your photographer. And one of the things that I know, the weddings that we've worked on together, our clients are always so comfortable with you. And you're just so easygoing, but you get your job done and you do it well. And that's so very important, because your client, or as your photographer, your vendors have to know you and get to know you. And one of the things that you do, Paul, is you pay attention to who they are. And you try to know who they are so that you can add those personal touches into your photography, so that when they get their pictures back, they can really see that it's them and it's their lifestyle. And again, that's very, very important. You don't want just, okay, here's your set of posed pictures, and this is what you're going to do during the day. But this is your story. And I think that's very, very important.
Yeah, we like to try and find out what and again, when we go to the rehearsal, we find out, we're on the lookout for any little things that, what they're going to be doing. You think wedding after wedding after wedding, they're all going to be the same, and they aren't. So you want to find out, and sometimes you need to discover what they're really looking for. There may be certain things that they've seen that they would like you to do, and you have to fit those into the day without dominating the day.
Right.
That's something that if you really want to have a bad time at your wedding, then what you wind up running into is a photographer that dominates somebody's wedding day.
Right.
And you don't want to do that. You want to be able to, if you need to take them away for 10 minutes, take them away from 10 minutes. Most DJs at the reception know how to work with that, and they're good at that. They give us the time to do it.
Absolutely.
Especially at sunset. We can't change that.
We cannot change sunset, ladies and gentlemen. It just can't happen. I get it. I know. And you know, a lot of times dinner falls right during that sunset period.
Yep.
And you're like, all right, how are we going to do this? You know, but I love also that you're very flexible with what you've got and what you do, and that's again just fabulous, because you have to work with all the team members in order to make the day happen. And so again, it's just, I think your experience within the industry and working so many weddings, you just get it.
Yeah, those photographers that are in the business right now and have been here for 8 to 10 years. They're doing something right. They're making people happy, regardless of the price range. If you're not making your clients happy, you're going to die. There's too many other people out there that can do it.
Absolutely. And again, it's being. I love that people pay attention to photography as a business and try to further their education and pay attention to other photographers and work together, because first of all, no one can take every event.
Yeah.
And you really, again, you have to find that connection with your clients.
Yes.
And I think that's very, very important, and something that you're able to do very, very well. So as your pictures, your images on the screen can show, you're just able to capture the day and tell a great story with that. So let's let our viewers know how to find you and how they can look at some more of your images when they have some time to get on.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff on Facebook. That's usually a good way for people to reach me. They can reach me through the phone number that's listed, or also they can email me. My website is Ros-Lynn and they can leave a message through there as well, or they can call me directly.
Okay, fantastic. And what is, let's see, there's your phone number, the 260...
Yeah, 266-0305.
05, fantastic, wonderful. Paul, thank you so much for being here and sharing your beautiful images with us today.
Well, thank you.
And with our viewers, and it's always fun to talk to you.
Thank you.
To work with you as well. So, I'm just glad that you were able to take the time to be here. So,
thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. All right, so give Ros-Lynn Studios a call, talk to Paul, and definitely give him a run for his money when it's time to choose your wedding photographer, because he does a great job. Absolutely fantastic job, as his images can clearly show you. So thanks again. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.